Hi, welcome to another edition of Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Carrie Seidman, Jack S. of all trades. Not Jackass, Jack S. of all trades at the Sarasota Herald-Tribune, and I'm here with my colleague, theater critic Jay Handelman. And we're here to give you a little preview of what's coming up this weekend in the arts world. Jay?
Well, so we're going to start this weekend at Florida Studio Theater, where they're having the southern premiere of a play called Alabama Story, written by a playwright named Kenneth Jones, who for many years was a writer for Playbill.com, and he's been writing musicals, and he found a story about a librarian in Alabama. He found an obituary of this woman who got involved in a case with a, I guess, racist state senator in Alabama who wanted to ban a book called The Rabbit's Wedding, about the marriage of a white rabbit to a black rabbit. And it was a children's book, and it was very controversial at the time. This is a true story, and so it's about her sort of defending the right of people to read all sorts of things, and he interweaves a personal story about a white woman and a black man who are reunited after many years. They knew each other as children when his mother worked for her mother, and had some problems that get revealed during the play. And so he interweaves these two stories to tell a story about what life was like back then, and it's a really good defense of books and libraries and reading and public discourse. So
good.
Looking forward to
Always
that.
An important thing
Yes.
to reiterate. Yeah. And for dance lovers, we have the next to last program of the Sarasota Ballet season, and it's a special one. As a matter of fact, Ian Webb, the director, has said this is sort of the heart of their 25th anniversary season. They will be performing, they will become the first American company, actually the first company outside of England to perform Sir Frederick Ashton's Enigma Variations, which is dance to music of the same name by a composer named Edward Elgar. And it's 13 variations, and each one was based on one of Elgar's friends. So this ballet debuted in 1968 at the Royal Ballet. It has only been danced by the Royal Ballet and the Royal Birmingham Ballet. So it's quite a coup that they're doing it here, so that's very special. They're also doing the company premiere of George Balanchine's Stars and Stripes, which is a very rousing, patriotic piece to the music of John Philip Sousa, kind of more appropriate for the 4th of July, perhaps, but it's always a big crowd pleaser.
If they were doing it on the 4th of July, they probably wouldn't have anybody going to the ballet. So
not as many, anyway.
Right, that's true.
So it's a very strong program, and in addition to what's on the stage, all of the past dancers in the company, the past directors and board members and patrons have been invited to come attend the performances and some receptions they're having afterward. Both of the company's past directors, Eddie Toussaint and Robert DeWarren, will be there, and 30 former dancers, I'm told, and some 40 former board members.
Is this just at the opening night, or is it all weekend?
I think it's all weekend. They're only doing 3 performances because it's at the Van Wezel. So they're doing a Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Saturday night. And I believe there may be a reception after each performance. But it'll be a special night and 2 pretty special ballets.
Great. Also in the theater, the FSU Oslo Conservatory wraps up its season. The second-year students will be doing Ingmar Bergman's Nora. The name Nora will probably be familiar to you. It's the main character from Henrik Ibsen's A Doll's House. And Bergman sort of ripped the play apart, and according to the director Andrei Babel, Bergman thought he knew better about what Ibsen wanted to say than Ibsen did himself, or at least how the play has been translated over the years. It's from 1879. So he cut the thing to shreds and focused on just a few characters, and Nora is less of a woman who realizes throughout the play that she needs to get out of her stifling life, and she knows that from the beginning, and Andre describes it as sort of her nightmare throughout, and all the people she encounters in the play are parts of that nightmare that just fuel her desire to leave. So the Oslo did this play in 1993. I remember seeing it then. So I'm curious to see it again because I've seen a few productions of A Doll's House in between, so it'd be good to have that contrast.
Interesting.
And this is the second-year students in the conservatory.
And we also have this weekend the final days of the Sarasota Film Festival. Sunday is actually the last day that films will be screened, but on Friday night is the traditional big party of the festival, which is normally called Cinema Tropical, and this year has been redubbed Cinema Political because of the election year. And it's rumored that there are all kinds of interesting things that may appear at the party, including perhaps a live elephant and a live donkey. So that's certainly one you won't want to miss.
Depends what you want to spend your evening with, but that's...
And also the closing night film on Saturday night has a little political slant to it as well. It's called The Congressman. Was written and directed by a former congressman, Robert Mrazek. He was a congressman from Long Island, although in the film, which is slightly biographical, he is a congressman from Maine. But that stars Treat Williams and George Hamilton, who are both supposed to be attending. So a little glitz, a little glamour, a little politics. I mean, what more could you ask for?
What more could you want? And so with that, what else do we have to offer you? We're going to just leave it at that and ask you to keep up with our coverage of all these events and more at ticketsarasota.com/arts and in our Sunday art section and Thursday's ticket section. So we're going to be attending as much of this as we can and reporting on all of it.
Which will be very little, considering we'll also be writing about all of it.
Well, we'll be keeping up with it. And we'll see you next time.